Hey gang, it's JC, and this is your Daily Dose for Thursday, November 11th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, Eye Candy Archives bottom of the page. You can get us on your smartphone, regardless of how smart or dumb it might be, but you don't need any app or anything like that. Just go to jc'sdailydose.com. We're all set to go. Dave's weather forecast and the audio on iTunes down in the corner. And of course, we're on the air every day at 10 o'clock in the morning on the big 550 KTRS, and you can listen online at ktrs.com, highlights at ktrs.com, and what else do you need to really know, after all? By the way, tomorrow is Friday, and so we'll have Smash, Digging the Smash, live in the studio, and it's not too late for you to get in on our Mixtape Friday thing. On the line here, an iPod Nano and a $50 gift certificate to Gallagher's in Waterloo, Illinois, where they got the best darn phone calls. Hold on one second here. Can I call you right back? All right, bye. Triple C, you know. Got to take care of business, you know how that is. So anyhow, you got the iPod Nano and you got the $50 gift certificate for Gallagher's in Waterloo, Illinois, and you become famous. We play your mixtape on the air, and all you have to do is send us your 5 favorite songs of all time to showgram at ktrs.com, and if we pick yours, we'll play your mixtape on the air, and then we'll draw one of the entries at the end of the show, and somebody wins those prizes, so that's pretty cool. All right, we got bits and pieces for you, bits and pieces. That's what we say around here. The Country Music Awards were last night, and the big winners, those who didn't watch. I did it again. See, I do it every year. I'm going to keep doing that joke till somebody laughs. Kelly Pickler attended the CMAs last night. Her Breasts won for Best Country Duo. Yeah, that's a recycled Dolly Parton joke from the 70s. All right, let me see if we can do better. During his Entertainer of the Year acceptance speech, Brad Paisley thanked his wife for saving him from despair. Presumably that means that she pulled him out of the auditorium before Gwyneth Paltrow started singing. Last night was Miranda Lambert's 27th birthday. She celebrated with cake and ice cream, or at least she tried to until Kelly Clarkson spotted it first. According to Us Weekly, Pink is 12 weeks pregnant. Doctors aren't sure if it's a boy or a girl. Not the baby, Pink. Happy birthday to Demi Moore. She's 48 today. She plans on celebrating by going out to dinner, and she'll take Ashton too if she can't get a sitter. Tina Fey was awarded the Mark Twain Prize for Humor last night. The committee chose Tina Fey after not seeing Date Night. Police in South Carolina arrested a burglar who was found inside a home lying face down and naked with a mouse in his rectum. He was immediately charged with 1 count of impersonating Carl in college. A study found that the child abuse rate is 0 in lesbian households. The kids don't get verbally abused either. The parents save the tongue lashings for one another. All right, that one I liked. Same-sex marriage opponent Carrie Prejean and former St. Louis Rams quarterback Kyle Bowler, now playing with the Oakland Raiders, are expecting their first child together. Carrie is 3 months pregnant. They're picking out names right now. I'll go with Beelzebub. American Idol runner-up Crystal Bowersox will drop her debut album on December 14th. She's calling it Farmer's Daughter. Now we're talking. That kid is amazing. For the first time ever, America is not the most coked-out country in the world. The British are now doing more coke than Americans, 6.2 to 4.5. There's always these movies, and you have these, I won't say violent, but very, very passionate sex scenes where people are just ripping each other's clothes off. I always think to myself, you know, that's a real good way to get in a lot of trouble with a girl really fast, because I was blissfully unaware of how much women's clothing, particularly undergarments, are. I mean, bras are like, you know, $70, $80 more in some cases. So the last thing you want to do is start ripping somebody's undergarments apart unless you plan on leaving them a check on the nightstand the next morning. Of course, you might be doing that anyhow, but that's your own business. A French lingerie company is selling women's underwear that fastens entirely with magnets, so you can tear them off without destroying them. They're expensive, $100 each. You can buy them on this French website, Yolia. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. JOLLIA.FR. Goofy French website. The first sex toy drive-through stop in the world has popped up in Alabama. A store called Pleasures in Huntsville is selling sex toys without making you leave your car, because it is illegal to sell sex toys without a medical purpose in Alabama. Leave it to Alabama to bring up the rear, no pun intended. Anyhow, before you buy, you have to give some explanation of how it will help you medically. It's a drive-through sex toy thing. Would you like to try a hot apple pie with that? No, but I would like to supersize. New Jersey conducts a safe surrender program. It's one of these deals where it's like an amnesty thing. You can come in if you have an outstanding warrant against you, and you sit down and they go, outstanding! And then you surrender, and then they go through some paperwork and all that. 14% of the people, about 550, showed up who hadn't done anything wrong in New Jersey. They just assumed they were in trouble. Employees of the accounting firm Price Waterhouse are in trouble for sending out an email ranking the 10 hottest women in the office. Come on. Have some fun. People are afraid they're losing their jobs. Everybody's taking cuts. People are running out of money. Have a little fun, for God's sakes. And then let the girls do the same thing with the guys. Everybody goes away happy. A teacher was awarded $240,000 after she lost her voice screaming at her class. And we have some digital, well, I don't know, some global warming news, I guess you would say. Scientists say more and more whales are suffering from sunburn. Yes, I've been to Lake of the Ozarks and I've seen them. There's a breakdown of the ozone layer. The whales are getting sunburn. And Wendy's is revamping their French fry recipe. They're using russet potatoes, leaving the skin on, and using sea salt. That's a very important story to my wife. How about the cruise ship industry? Talk about taking some hits. You got like people disappearing off a cruise ship. They just like fall off or jump or whatever. Nobody ever sees them again. The cruise ship thing, I mean, here it is. If you're going to Hawaii or Alaska, then I guess I sort of understand that. Or if you can't get around very easily, that's why you see so many people who have, type 2 diabetes and walking with canes and walkers, or, people are in wheelchairs and all that. I mean, then I guess I understand it. But, I just don't get the whole idea of a cruise ship, because I can remember I've taken 2 of these things now, and I doubt that I will take another one unless it's free, or unless it is, like I said, Hawaii or Alaska. Then I suppose it would make sense. But it's 6 o'clock at night, and you're looking at the coast of Mexico, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, mariachi bands, flautas and chalupas and salsa and guacamole, and there it is, and you can see the lights of the coast of Mexico, and instead you're in a massive cafeteria with a bunch of people eating pork chops. I just never understood that whole thing. So now, how about this power failure? I mean, you got a couple of hundred people on this boat, and there apparently was no contingency plan to get people off a boat faster than like a week. My guess is that maybe if they want to save the cruise industry, maybe they'll come up with something, because this idea of just sitting there with no power, no electric of any kind, no hot water, they got them eating Spam. I'm sorry, I'll pass. For a brief moment, remember a couple of years ago we were telling you about the Farrelly brothers who were going to do a Three Stooges movie, and they had lined up Benicio del Toro. I knew I was going to blow that. Benicio del Toro, third time's a charm, to play Mo, and then Sean Penn was going to play Curly, and Jim Carrey, of all people, a tall, lanky guy, was going to play Curly. Well, now, apparently the whole thing is falling apart. Sean Penn dropped out because his marriage is crumbling. And now Jim Carrey says, I'm just afraid I'm going to give myself a heart attack if I gain 70 pounds and then try to lose it. So the movie appears to be dead right now. And the enthusiasm over Conan O'Brien is doing exactly what everybody said. He started out with about 4.5 million people watching on Monday night. Now it's down to about 2.8. So, you could see that coming. CBS apparently trying to be the oldest network on television, where the average viewer is 55 years old. They've already done Hawaii Five-0. Now they're going to bring back the Wild Wild West. You tell me. Cher is going to be on with Letterman tonight. Watch out. Bring out the protective headgear. Here we go. And Journey, Foreigner, and Styx are all touring Europe all at the same time right now. None of them with their lead singers. All with some guy up there pretending to be, Lou Gramm or Steve Perry or Dennis DeYoung. What do we got here? Birthdays today include Leonardo DiCaprio, who is 36 and quite the swordsman from what we hear out on the West Coast. Callista Flockhart, who has been with Harrison Ford now for years, is 46. Stanley Tucci, who I don't believe has ever given a bad performance in his life, is 50. Jonathan Winters, without Jonathan Winters, you'd never have Robin Williams. Jonathan Winters is 85 today. And two of my favorite people in St. Louis, Dave Murray, 57, and Dick Ford, 77. All right, JC's Eye Candy. The other night, David Letterman's people put together a reel of, I guess you would say, bloopers during the Bush presidency. It is absolutely hilarious. It is JC's Eye Candy. Please look at it. It's right below what you're looking at right now. Our Video Village is an interview from 1991 that Albert Brooks did with me to promote the movie Defending Your Life. Our Wayback Machine is the Slyman Brothers Try As You Like Us for back in the early 90s. And that's it. JC's Daily Dose for whatever the date is. Is it the 10th? Yes. No, it's the 11th. Thursday, November 11th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.